Hello, and welcome to a broadcast that's produced by Friends of Terry Virgil. I'm Terry Virgil, host and producer. Today's topic that we're going to be talking about here is United States will stay divided. There is no, there is more evidence that the United States will continue to stay divided. The Democrats and Republicans just won't be able to get along. And I don't care about either one of those two political parties. One thing I care about is the freedom and liberty that we can gain. Yes, I believe in the Libertarian Party and the principles of the Libertarian Party. The main part of that I believe in the most is liberty and freedom for all. Smaller government, both state and federal government, and leave everything up to local government. There's no way on God's green earth that I would even agree with anything that the liberals and Democrats come up to say. I might listen to what the Republicans have to say because at least it gives me an idea that they want to do everything halfway. Halfway correct. That is correct. They love the idea of allowing ownership, but telling you how to own it and what to do with your own property, or how high you can build, and you're free to live there all you want. Now, on the other hand, with the liberals and Democrats, of course, everybody knows, including they know it, and they understand the fact that they love the idea of what I like to call a worldview of communist/socialists. That's right. That is a worldview that they hold. That everybody must be able to do what they want and say, such as they want to have everybody have the socialized medicine, or what is called Obamacare, actually, for insurance that covers socialized medicines or medication. On the other hand, they also want everybody to have this thing called Medicare and Medicaid. Yes, I know I got a lot of friends that probably are on Medicare and Medicaid. I don't want them to lose out on this, and that's there's obvious reasons. But I want to talk to those who are not on any Medicare and Medicaid program. Even this thing in Wisconsin that we have, which is called Badger Care. The Democrats want to have it so the Badger Care be for everybody in the state of Wisconsin. Well, do you know what that sounds like? That sounds exactly like the same thing as Obamacare, except for on a state level. Okay, I like the fact that they're using the words from the 10th Amendment and saying that it's states' rights, which is a good idea. However, there's one problem with this Democrat liberal idea. It is so dumb and stupid to say that it's free when in the reality there is no freedom or choice, and it does cost money. Democrats and liberals don't think. Let's just put it that way. End of sentence. They're ridiculously so very stupid, and they are all dummies to listen to the lies of the communist/socialist world view. Okay, we could keep harping on this, or we could stop talking about this, but let's keep on harping about it, because the fact is, it will affect the economy in such a huge way. Saying that something is free and it won't cost anybody anything is a lie. What are they going to do? Find a way to print money out of their ass? and call it free by just running the printing press, making it up and putting it on paper, and calling it free and not taxing us? People wake up, especially you liberals and Democrats. And yes, you are morons, by the way. You morons better start thinking about the word. It's not going to cost anything. Here's one thing. United States Senator Tammy Baldwin, who is a liberal and Democrat, got her nose up Senator Chuck Schumer's ass so far, you can't tell where he ends and she begins. That's how far it is. If he were to let go of a good fart, she'd probably get sucked inside even farther because she enjoys the smell of United States Senator Chuck Schumer. And yet she is a lesbian. And I don't mind bashing people like this. And I don't mind harassing them, haranguing them, or doing anything like this. I feel that these people ought to be pointed out into public and saying just how stupid they really are. We got a mayor in the city of Madison, Wisconsin. You can't tell where he begins and Chuck Schumer begins because he's got his nose up Chuck Schumer's rear end. It must be a real good threesome when it comes to that kind of activity. Believe me, when you got liberals and Democrats, and believe it or not, Mayor Paul Soglin is, and he really is one of these. He's even said that he is a socialist. Interesting. And he even says, I am a progressive liberal, even more of a progressive liberal than anybody out there, even Obama. So that tells you what kind of man he is. In a nutshell, he is saying that he is a communist/socialist. He believes in the communist ideas and wants to bring about communist ideas in the great state of Wisconsin as the next governor of the great state of Wisconsin. In other words, we would have Adolf Hitler, that really is a Jew. Believe it or not, he is Jewish. And so was Adolf Hitler, part Jewish. Mayor Paul Soglin denouncing his heritage just to end freedom and liberty for the state of Wisconsin. So if you could say that the United States will stay divided, you would be correct. There was only one president in the United States history that took a divided nation, and actually united it, and it was united after he was dead, President Lincoln. He, believe it or not, ran his campaign kind of like what I do if I ran for public office. Right now I'm thinking about running for governor of the great state of Wisconsin so that we could get rid of idiots like Mayor Paul Soglin who make the threats of turning Wisconsin into a communist/socialist state and raising taxes so high that no one can afford to live there, and seeing that, and then we could really witness industry leaving the state of Wisconsin. Now, here's a good example of that. Oscar Mayer left the city of Madison because of Mayor Paul Soglin. And yet, it's a union plant with liberals in there running the union. This is why I don't like labor unions too well, because They're all communistic anyways, with communistic ideas. And the fact is, we have to look at what's here. And why I feel that economically it's the worst thing that can happen. Now, yes, God will allow this to happen to the great state of Wisconsin, maybe even allow it to happen to the United States of America, to allow another liberal to take over. I don't know. But it's a possibility. I'm not God. I can't decide what God's going to do or what he won't do. He's done it in the past with Israel. Look in the book of Judges. He's done it with them. The book of Kings. Same thing. He allowed Israel to be divided, and it's still divided as of today. It's in ruins. Is that what you want for the state of Wisconsin and the United States to stay divided? I don't know. But I know one thing. I'm a fighter, and I fight for freedom and liberty. Yes, I will bash the liberals and Democrats. I will harass them. I will give them everything under the sun. I will even call them different types of things just to point out what kind of fools they really are and how foolish they are going to be. I can't say can be, but how foolish they really are, and they will always continue to be foolish. Yes, they'll put a label on me called phobic, bigot, but I don't care, because that shows just how immature Democrats and liberals really are. And if a Republican wants to say that, that's fine too. That shows just how much of a moderate they are and how much of a fool they are. I'm here to fight for freedom and liberty, and I will do my best to do so. And I will do it according to God's word. I don't care if you believe in God or not. It's still going to be done this way, because it is freedom and liberty. And it will unite the nation. Because we are one nation under God. And yes, I did say under God. Because God is the only one that gives us liberty and freedom. Everybody else doesn't. Look at the other worldviews out there. They say, well, we can't give you freedom and liberty because we want to tax the living shit out of you. Like the liberals and Democrats want to do. Or they'll have their noses up someone's butt so far you can't tell which end is up. If you flip Chuck Schumer in the air, both United States Senator Tammy Baldwin and Mayor Paul Soglin, okay, I'm going to add another one too, Mayor Tom Barrett from Milwaukee, it'll show tails. If Chuck Schumer ever was on his face. Because that's the type of coin it is. You can't tell which is which, or who's up, who's butt. I sure hate to smell that one. And I sure hate it if Chuck Schumer decided to really go to the bathroom a certain way, because it'll show. People, economics means freedom and liberty, and the good economic plan is a great republic, not democracy, like the Democrats and Republicans and liberals want to see. The worldview is, for me, is biblical, is a biblical worldview, which in this case is a very conservative worldview. I find God to be more conservative than anything else, and yet people hate me because I'm a Christian. They hate me because I believe in God. They hate me because if I were to use God on the campaign trail, it'd be wrong. Well, I'm running out of time here, about 10 seconds, and I would like to end it this way. You have a choice to make